Morning. I'm going to demonstrate something that I haven't done in a long time. I don't work a whole lot of slabs, and I hardly ever work Obsidian. But I thought I'd show edging an end cut piece of mahogany Obsidian with a hammerstone. If this was something like a piece of Imperial Jasper that might have like a little crack coming in from the edge or something, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be carefully working out any problems, but this should be fairly well straightforward, and it's a fairly common rock. I see a lot of people that edge slabs work with small boppers, and they work back and forth along square edges on their leg, keeping their ankles down and stuff, but really, if you can just rock your angle down with a hammerstone, especially on this Obsidian that flakes so easy, and you have a lot of width, it really is more conservative actually sometimes to just take a whole series of flakes along one face, create a bevel, and then grind, turn the edge, find out where the higher spots are after you do some grinding, and then start removing flakes from the ends along those heavier areas. So this is a little bit cracky but gritty piece of sandstone. It's got some cracks in it, but I'll be working areas that are solid. And it's grabby and gritty, so it works well to catch overstrike and sort of abrade and clean and turn edges too. Not every flake has to be a thinning flake. So I can just start here at the end, at this area where it's already sloped down. I have a valley here, so as I come to this area, I'll be a little bit more careful. And then when I start doing the thinning, this corner, I have to be careful because it's very, very, very thin in that valley. So just continue working down. See how I'm overstriking that? If I was abrading all those platforms and hitting them with a smaller, harder hammerstone, that wouldn't be good. See how nice and turned that is? Now we can start up at this corner. I don't want to put that on the leg and grind that and hit that high because it would probably break along that low spot. So although this is steep, I'll start by taking just a little flake there and chop that corner down. Maybe get a little more. There. You really want to be careful with those heavy corners because they can start end shock. So see how I just sort of split the difference there? Now I can just lower my angle, hold my pinky underneath. If you grind something heavy and you're like this, then you can, obviously you're not supporting. So if the edge is heavy and I want that to peel off, then I can just sort of put my finger underneath there. Okay, so now our corner is squared off, or the square is taken off. And what I'll probably do is take advantage of this area. I could just keep on working along here, but since I do have that valley, I'll go ahead and just brush this down, give it a little braid. I was turning it over, but see that high point? Take that down. Yeah, a little braid. And then support and come in on the corner here. And a couple flakes, and then that valley will be softened by removing thickness from the tip. And we can start bringing that edge closer to center line here. If I was working on the ledge hitting, I'd risk overstrike, and I would have more troughs and valleys. This is keeping everything in a line and smooth. So that's ready to come back this way. Now let's follow suit on this square edge and work from both corners to turn this edge down. So support underneath, drop my angle. If I need to hit a harder area, I can find a little more pointed spot on the hammerstone. So we're going to come back up here. Sometimes do a little abrading, a little pinching. There. So now it's turned on that way. Since this is an end cut, I turned the edges to flake this side because there's a little hole there and we have this valley here, so now we can beginning to build convexity on this face. And then when those edges will get moved up as we remove width, doing that contouring on that face. Then we'll be set up nicely to do the same there. And at this stage, if you want to make a really wide biface, then you might start working on more faces. But I have plenty of width here, and I'm probably not going to make a super wide biface, so I'll just do some abrading. I'll be doing some trimming to move this edge up, and then do a few flecks of the hammerstone really quick, and then make that be the end of the video. Pinching with the finger, just brush, brush, brush. Alright, they'll come off smooth. So let's and down. These aren't going to be the long flakes, these are just going to be smoothers because we're very low. Yep. And a little bit more. Overstruck this platform here a little bit. Trimming this down because it's still very thin there. That's why I have to losing width that I needed to here because of how my flakes are going to finish. So you sort of know what width that you can afford to lose, and then just go ahead and do it early as it doesn't interfere with the, that's too heavy a platform. God, this stuff is so brittle. All right. Slow. The hammerstone's less in, more down. It's deceptive because the angle of the platform combined with the overstrike and the place that you're hitting delivers the inward force. So if I just struck that in, I'd get a nasty hinge or shatter my edge. And swinging slow so that I'm not collapsing the platform just by the force. See, that was even too low. There's not really much more to do with this hammerstone because it's really gritty. Okay, that's nice and smooth now. And that overstrike bad hit we did there, I just can't, for the sake of the video, leave that in there. So we'll walk down and get half of it here, and walk up and get the other half there. But my edge is really low right now, so doing this for the sake of the video is counterproductive to my normal plans. If I was sitting, I would just leave it be, but we can get rid of it now too. There's that uphill half, or up distal half. This will get underneath it. There, it did. And it terminated in a little bit of a hinge, which is well in the balance to catch up there. So that's removed most of our valley. So that's a quick way to, if you want to learn hammerstones, some of the speeds are tricky as you get to where you're wanting to make more refined and hit thinner edges. Then it really depends on the grit of the hammerstone and a whole lot of support. And the main thing in this Obsidian is that you can be early and careless, just drop your angles and brush, and makes quick work of turning these heavier square edges, excuse me, so that you can do less pressure flaking and less abrading and work breakage. If you're working on continuous platforms flat, you might hit a high spot and put in a crack. So, hope that was in frame.